Former Trump aide says ex-president is facing down his worst nightmare. Omarosa Manigault Newman said the curtain is going to be pulled back on Trump's fake persona. A former White House aide to Donald Trump says it's the ex-president's worst nightmare to have his property seized. Trump has said he doesn't have the money and unsuccessfully petitioned last month to post $100 million instead. If he doesn't pay up by Monday, his assets can be seized. He's built his business on deceit and a house of cards. And as we can see, that house of cards is now going to collapse, said Manigault Newman, who wrote a highly critical book about Trump after exiting her White House role in 2017. He's asked to be treated differently than others who would be in this situation, she added. If it were you or I, we couldn't go to the courts and say, look, we don't have the money for our appeal, can you make some exceptions for us? But Donald Trump is expecting special treatment, special favors, because he believes that he is above the law. But in this case, he's gonna have to pay, or he just will have his property seized. And that is his worst nightmare. She said this episode will puncture the public persona Trump so carefully curated over the decades. From the first day of The Apprentice, the story that was told to the audience was that Donald Trump was so extraordinarily wealthy, she said. And what we've learned from the producers is that this was an image that they actually helped to build. But then he turns around and asks average Americans to send him money to help with his legal fees, she continued. The truth of the matter is that, now, the curtain is going to be pulled back and his supporters are going to see that what Donald Trump says about his wealth and about the money that he has, he simply does not have it. And said he highly doubts former President Donald Trump's claim that he's been unable to obtain a $464 million bond to appeal his civil fraud conviction. It just doesn't make any sense at all, Weissman told MSNBC's Alicia Menendez on Wednesday's broadcast of Deadline, White House. In a filing to the New York State Supreme Court, Trump called it a practical impossibility that he'll get the money together, and said that 30 bond companies had turned him down. But New York Attorney General Letitia James, who brought the civil case against Trump, fired back in a separate filing by suggesting Trump hadn't offered appropriate evidence to back up his claims. James also argued that the total required could be split up into smaller sums between multiple companies. Weissman agreed, adding that the former president could also mortgage his assets. Trump could do all that, but the real issue here is that he may be just too leveraged, Weissman said. He says he's worth so much, but all of these properties are used to back loans from other institutions, he added. He may not actually have all that much money, either cash on hand or property that isn't already pledged for other loans. So the reason he's having so much trouble, and the reason he might be having this meltdown, is he can't post the money himself. And he needs to find a lifeline through some third party who is going to be able to bail him out. Explosive showdown looms. Manhattan DA's office accuses Trump of court deception. In a gripping turn of events that has legal circles buzzing with anticipation, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office has unleashed a bombshell, alleging that former President Donald Trump has been playing fast and loose with the truth as a high-stakes criminal case inches closer to reality. With tensions at fever pitch and the courtroom showdown just around the corner, the clash between Trump and prosecutors promises to be nothing short of sensational. Led by the formidable Cyrus Vance Jr., the Manhattan DA's office has come out swinging, leveling damning accusations against Trump and his legal team. Their assertion? That Trump has been actively attempting to hoodwink the court, manipulating facts and figures in a desperate bid to evade accountability. As the legal battle escalates, the stakes couldn't be higher, with the future of one of the most polarizing figures in American politics hanging in the balance. At the heart of the matter are allegations of financial impropriety that have dogged Trump for years. From tax evasion to insurance fraud, the charges are as serious as they come, threatening to upend the already tumultuous trajectory of Trump's post-presidential life. With the April trial date looming ominously, the Manhattan DA's office has left no stone unturned in its quest for justice, leaving Trump and his allies scrambling to mount a defense. The latest salvo from Vance's office comes amid mounting pressure on Trump to come clean and cooperate fully with the investigation. But instead of compliance, Trump's legal maneuvers have only served to further inflame tensions, with prosecutors accusing him of resorting to deception in a bid to save face. However, with the full weight of the law bearing down on him, Trump finds himself backed into a corner, facing off against an adversary determined to see justice served. As the legal drama unfolds, the nation watches with bated breath, eagerly awaiting the outcome of a battle that has captured the public's imagination. With the specter of criminal charges looming large, Trump's future hangs in the balance, with the outcome of the trial poised to send shockwaves through the political establishment. In the hallowed halls of justice, the stage is set for a showdown of epic proportions, with the fate of a former president hanging in the balance. Get ready for the legal battle of the century. It's going to be one for the history books.